everyone, I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about living frugally, saving money, cutting expenses, and living the life of your dreams on less. I am the daughter of Depression-era parents born in 1929 and 1931. I was raised very frugally the way that they were in a rural area in Kansas. I am currently in my RV in Texas, here for the winter, because we have saved money so that I could retire early at 57 and so that I could live out part of my dreams by wintering in a warmer climate. So we're going to talk today about the ways that frugal people are able to make things like that happen on a low income. Sometimes you may hear people say, well, it must be nice to take vacations. It must be nice to have savings. It must be nice to travel. It must be nice to be debt free. But I had saw a short clip the other day on TikTok, and the lady said, don't be fooled by things. You may see someone with an $80,000 savings account driving a $1,000 car. And in return, you may see someone with a very expensive car and $1,000 in their account. So don't be fooled by things because they can be deceptive. We will get told that it must be nice to have those things. But when you have achieved those things, it's because you worked hard to get there. We worked hard to get there even on a low income. I believe there are 5 areas that frugal people utilize to meet the dreams that they desire on a low income. And the first thing is you have to show up every single day for yourself and for your dreams. So the 5 areas that frugal people use to meet their dreams and live on a low income are discipline, time management, money management, determination, and planning. And we are going to talk about those 5 areas and what they can look like if you're on a low income. The trick to being able to do what you want to do on a low income is you have to show up every single day for yourself, for you, for your dreams. You have to be disciplined to work, to earn money in any way you can, whether it's couponing, rebates, side hustles, babysitting. You have to be able to show up for you and stay on that path and be disciplined no matter what your income. It may be easier if you have more money, but it also may be harder if you have more money because sometimes you're more inclined to spend it. When you have less inclined to spend it and to hang on to it because you know there's not a lot to replace it. I have to always look for ways to reduce expenses or look for ways to use what I already have. That's one of the tricks that we use in our discipline. That involves food, leftovers, clothing, driving an old car, using your household goods, the full extent of what you already have available to you at your fingertips. And then you have to backstock deals and sales and only stuff that you need. If it is a good deal and if you actually need it. If it's not a good price or you don't need it, that sale is not for you. And that discipline lets you know you need to walk on by today. The second area is time management. Frugal people use time management to their advantage. That old saying of, I don't have time, it will wreck your future. And I've been there where I didn't have time. And because I didn't have time or make the time to do things, I spent more money than I needed to spend, which meant in the long run, I had to work more hours to pay for things that I bought in haste. So if you don't have time to look for that new job, to look for a cheaper housing if you need it, to look for those coupons and download them to your apps, or find those specials and deals and clearance, it will cost you more money in the long run. Check that fridge, use everything you possibly can. No waste has to be our goal, to utilize all the money that we already have. Cook from scratch. Look for sales, reductions, closeouts. Those take time, but they're also well worth the time spent. Keep an inventory of what you have: shampoo, toilet paper, dish soap, laundry soap, toothpaste, because then you won't be tempted to pick more up if you already know that you have several at home. It's very tempting to grab those things when you don't really know what you have and you see a good deal. So even if it's a good deal and you don't need it, that sale's not for you. The third area is money management. Frugal people and people that are able to live on less know their numbers. They track every single purchase to make sure that they don't spend more than they're bringing into the home, that they don't buy wants when they're actually needs, and that they don't overbuy needs that they already have. They have intentional shopping practices, and they default to the saving of the dollar versus the spending of the dollar to make sure that they have that dollar saved. We are less free with our money. We think harder about giving that dollar away to make sure that we have managed our money well so that we can meet the goals that we have set for ourselves. The fourth area is planning. Frugal people plan their future. They plan their dreams. They plan their money, and they look at the big picture, not just next week. Sit down and brainstorm all of your avenues that you have to bring in any extra money. Use those resources wisely. Budget monthly and research and put it on paper what you want to do as far as your dreams go. This is what frugal people do in their planning process. When I wanted to retire early, I looked at different areas I wanted to retire to. I looked at the cost, I looked at the climate, I looked at the different types of housing options. I looked at what it cost me to live at home and whether or not I could manage two different residences even part of the year. I looked at the crime rate in the areas that I was looking at. I looked at the options of what was around that area that I could do for free to entertain myself when I was there. I wanted it to be a home away from home in a nice climate, but I was going to continue to operate like I was home. It wasn't going to be an extended vacation. It was going to be another opportunity to enjoy myself in another place, but not overspend while I was there so I could continue that lifestyle. Frugal people make a plan. They make a 5-year plan. Where do you want to be in 5 years? What is your goal? Do you want to still be working? If so, where do you want to be working? Where do you want to be living? What is something you dream of happening for your life in the next 5 years? They also have a 1-year plan. What do you want to accomplish in the next year? The last year before I retired, I paid off over $15,000 in debt. And that was so that I could retire early. I focused on that. That's what my goal was for the next year, was to get that debt gone. And then they also have a yearly plan of projections. What does it take for you to live? For your earnings, your expenses, what can you adjust to make that timeline go smoother so you can tackle that debt or tackle that savings that you want to accomplish over that next year? What does it take for you to live? And can you change that in any way to meet your dreams? And the fifth thing is determination. Frugal people who want to meet their dreams don't lose their stride. They don't let things derail them. They don't make a mistake and then say, oh, I've blown it. It's just too late. And they get right back on track and they go again. They don't let the little daily rewards blindside them where they don't get to the final reward. Many times we get used to just giving ourselves little rewards to keep ourselves going, little rewards for how hard that we work. And those little daily rewards that we give ourselves can totally wreck our finances and totally blur that end goal where we either don't get to it or it takes longer to get there. That's why you'll hear people say, I'm going to have to work forever. I don't have any savings. I've never been able to save money. Is because sometimes those little daily rewards have wrecked their vision of the future by blurring all of those numbers. They haven't had a plan, they haven't been able to stick to the plan, and they haven't been disciplined, and they haven't used their time and their money and their resources effectively. So if you're in any of these categories and you're struggling, I want to end it with this high school cheer that I think fits it perfectly. You have to want it to win it. So do it, do it, do it. That's an old cheer that we used to do at the football and basketball game. I just think it fits perfectly with what we are here discussing today. Show up for yourself every single day. Show up for those dreams. You deserve it. You've worked hard. The only thing you need to adjust is saving money and meeting those goal dreams. Thanks for listening today, and I hope to see you in the next video.